right. So
this says they set it up for 4,429, and they sold 3,874. So yeah, they were about 550 below what their capacity was last night.
14,000 seat arena too.
Yeah, they had it set. They had it set up for 4,400.
Right. So now, let's go to our Dynamite review from last night. Joe, did the numbers come out for this show? By the way,
they certainly did.
What do we got?
I want to make sure I saw this, and I want to make sure that I got it right, because it's not pleasant.
What was it?
Twitter
should already have this minute or something.
I did, but then
I got it.
No, it's 833,000.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
That's supposed to be the Go Home show.
They lost 200,000 viewers from the week before. That's very bizarre. What was was there basketball on last night?
Yeah, there was Boston and Cleveland, and I don't know who else. It was
Boston. Wow, I'm that's that's a significant drop, but it's like the show was, it's
Raj,
too. I saw
Raj Geary from Wrestling Inc. here says a drop was expected since last week's show had no NBA competition. But this was the second lowest audience of the year for AEW Dynamite so far in its regular time slot. And it's a go-home show, so that's not great.
Nope. Well, let's talk about it.
Okay, let me ask you a couple questions before we get into the review. So
let's introduce.
That's what I'm about to do. So we got here Fernando Padilla, which is a correspondent. Obviously, you must live in San Francisco or close by, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right?
Long-time listener.
So you went to the auditorium, and what was the atmosphere like? Is there any comments that you want to make? Just you getting there or sitting, waiting for the matches, or anything that we might be interested in hearing? And what was the capacity? Was it full? Was it 80% full? How was it?
And I'm sorry to interject, just out of my own curiosity, Fernando. How long have you been going to events at the Cow Palace?
Well, I first went when my dad took me. I must have been 5 years old for a WWF house show. So I've been going there forever. Yeah, the 80s. I was there when Eddie Guerrero won the title. It was a madhouse. So I've always been to the event. So anytime they come, I check it out. The last time I went was for a New Japan event 4 years ago when it was Cody versus Kenny. So what I observed is there was a lot of, you get your usual neck beards and stuff, but there was a lot of families. There was couples. There was kids that went out there. So it's a mix, a whole different mix. San Francisco is a little different, just diverse and stuff. A lot of Latinos, blacks, whites and stuff. So anyway, after, it was a really fun show.
Right.
What I said is I bet if I watched this on TV, it'd probably be pretty flat. I'd probably turn it off after the first hour. But the energy and just the atmosphere is different. And I'm kind of convinced that I think Tony Khan books for his crowd. He books for the live crowd, I think.
He absolutely does. And I saw he said he actually this week he had his media call today. And he actually said he books to try to get ratings. He actually said that. So
the number one Yeah. Well, I know.
Let's get to the show because we can comment as we go.
Okay, I just want to say something real quick, and you can use sound effects for this, Joe, like Disco had asked you, because this is late breaking news. I just want to remind everybody that last week, okay, and this is big news. Last week, Moxley won his 100th match.
Yep.
Okay, that's okay. Just wanted to say that.
So
Joe, are you in any way does that pop you?
I enjoy it, yeah, and we're gonna get ourselves a roadcaster, so we're gonna have sound effects on demand soon in the next coming weeks.
All right.
Hopefully you'll have the sliding whistle.
I made a mistake, shocker, on the Patreon last week or something, where Nicho from Shut Up and Refill My Popcorn did a watch along, right? And so when I posted the clip on Patreon, I put, hey, here's a watch along with JJ Claxton. So I got heat in the Discord. It's not all Latinos are the same. And I almost made the same mistake again, Fernando, because Beto Garcia has told a story about KG getting smacked in San Francisco at a live show. And I almost asked you if you were the one there. And I was like, I can't do that again. They're going to bury me for mixing up.
We're going to cancel you.
Yeah. All the Latino listeners, I can't tell them apart.
And Konnan, I don't know if you know this, but he labeled on the Patreon, he put Stevie Rat.
I did misspell Stevie Rat. Yeah. I think it was an autocorrect,
Very racist.
Let's get to the show. We got a show review here. Okay, so this opens up with Orange Cassidy versus Big Bill with Stokely Hathaway. Actually, I like Stokely Hathaway is a little bit better look for him with the Black Panther outfit on.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit better look than the cheap clothes he was wearing before. But Big Bill looked good, but there was zero chance he was going to win this match because he outweighed Cassidy by 100 and something pounds. So the rule in AEW is if any small wrestler is wrestling a big wrestler, the big wrestler has to do the job, and that's what Big Bill did here. He did the job. 3 Superman punches. Orange Cassidy goes over. What did you think about this,
bro?
Oh, but then plus 2, Danhausen showed up doing the spells and stuff, everything and all that. So it's like I don't know. This is
a huge pop for Danhausen, though.
What is less meaningless, the Atlantic or the the world title? Is that still a thing or no?
Yeah, it is. Because Hook wrestled for it later in the show. Yeah.
Okay. I'm still waiting for the Gulf of Mexico title. Nothing, bro. Again, what a brutal name, Big Bill. Okay.
And he's wrestles like Luger. Remember Luger? Just black jeans and shoes, like not even wrestling boots. Like, I don't know. It's just,
The good thing is at least they let Big Bill shine. And Orange, who I actually like personally and is very over, bro, he just looks so scrawny. And tell me he didn't. Fournette.
He absolutely did. Not as scrawny as Riho, though. We'll talk that later.
Next to him, bro, he just looks so scrawny next to Big Bill and doesn't bring the physicality, let's say, Darby Allin does.
Right.
So it's hard to take him seriously.
Right.
I don't understand why they have Danhausen, who I have grown to like and understand, though I hope he's gotten better in the ring because every time I've seen him, including because I saw him in ROH, bro, he was like Pepe Le Pew, Limburger cheese bad. You know what I'm saying? I like what I don't understand is that every time that he puts the hex on, it doesn't work. So why does he do it?
It's corny. It's just a corny fake character. It's just like just I don't know. So then
what I like to see there is that everybody likes to see a good comeback story and all that. And after the different issues that Big Kaz, Big Bill had, he's in AEW now, and the dude's in killer shape, man. So I was happy to see that. He looks good.
So do you have a poster of him, Joe?
I'd like to get a life-size stand-up, because
to him every
7
day.
feet tall. No, I would like do this to it, and you couldn't do anything back.
Here's the I got a question. So obviously it doesn't matter because they're in different promotions, but that orange punch that looks like the Superman punch Roman does.
Yeah.
Who came out with that first? Do you know? Fernando?
I think Roman's been doing it for 10 years. So it's probably him.
I'm gonna guess it's like a spoof of Roman.
And he grabbed it from some UFC.
Think, bro, and I'm not hating. I'm just stating. I just think the Superman punch looks way better on a guy that's
of course
looks like Roman, not like Orange Punch. Yeah,
looks like Superman.
Right.
Okay, so footage aired of a bloody Moxley in a stairwell, and he was basically bleeding all over the place and cutting a promo on Hangman Page that he's a different animal, and he does this. He's an animal like. There's only room for one animal like him in the AEW ecosystem.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Yeah. I just want to say that I thought that was a good promo, but did they show any context on TV? Because it just popped out of nowhere, and it looked like he was just maybe walking down the hallway.
It seemed like it was supposed to be.
Yeah, this is what he said for last week after Dynamite went off the air.
Post-match, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after Dynamite went off the air, we got these comments.
So he just has to show up bleeding every week, no matter what.
Yeah. I'm not going to make the requisite addicted to the blade joke.
Right. So my thing. Here's the thing. I like how you say I'm not going to make a joke, but you still say that.
I had to drop it.
Thing.
T-shirt sale, Madness 20.
Bro, don't make me bury you, Joe.
No, but let me.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Good. This is a good promo. Good promo for the build-up. But bro, now he's bleeding in his promos. I don't know if more viewers tune into this or why it's happening every match, but it just seems gratuitous instead of effective. And you would think that Moxley and the veterans like Jarrett or Malenko or Jericho know better and smarten him up, or maybe they have and he doesn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just gratuitous. It's not effective. You save it for
Dude,
when.
It means nothing anymore, man.
He has 2023. When you're bleeding, dude, have a towel there, like you're trying to stop the bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
You're cutting a promo, but he's like, I'm going to show the color. Like, bro, this guy's like mental. I don't know what he like. Did they let him do all this, and it just does not fit on the show at all.
Well, my thing is he has a big Texas death match on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and that's when you could bleed, right? Now you've bled every week leading up to it. What's the point of? Why would you bleed on Sunday? Exactly.
You're supposed to tune in and pay to see the blood.
There you go.
So this was a big angle right here. So the Elite come out for their entrance and the lights go off. When they turn on, the House of Black members are standing behind them. Then the lights go back off. Then you hear a little bit of commotion, and the lights go back on, and the Elite's like laying down, and then the House of Black is standing tall. What did you think of this?
I didn't see this. How was it? I did not see this.
It was fine.
Just very.
I'll tell you, for the live crowd, for me, like it was so fast that it made me wonder: was that even the Elite? Like, and that's kind of like we didn't even see
very poorly, like, zero impact.
Yes.
Like
yeah, exactly.
Right. Whatever they're trying to get out of this meant absolutely nothing.
And this is the reason why they have those ratings, because of stuff like this. Everything has to be impactful. Everything has to have a reason why. Every promo, and they don't do that well here, you're supposed to try to get the people to want to watch your match. Not just say that, oh, I'm wrestling this guy and we're going to no, you got to talk asses into the seats. That's your job. But go ahead.
So next was they had this ladder match for the ring. They get a shot. The ring is hanging over the ring, and it basically looks like a what do you want to call it? A
golden Cheerio.
No. A children's life preserver, like for a kid, like a donut, right? And a bunch of crazy spots. This commander guy can walk across the ring ropes and do flips, which is, I guess that's fantastic in professional wrestling matches these days. Like a lot of goofy spots, a lot of stuff very risky. Looked like they could have gotten hurt. These guys don't. I mean, none of these guys in this match like really cared about protecting themselves, or maybe Hobbs did, but nobody was being careful, right? The Dana Garcia. So this is so stupid. I mean, I know that they always say no DQ, or like, but bro, just having people randomly interfere. Like Daniel Garcia came out and interfered, go, well, this is legal, because it's and he's just like there the whole time, like doing spots and stuff, everything, whatever. But it ends up with Hobbs knocks Takeshita off the ladder, and he climbs up and he wins. And I think the right guy went over. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz fought to the back early in this match. I guess that forwarding their angle. Ortiz punches did not look good, by the way. He needs to tighten that up. There was if you're a New Yorker character, you need to look like you can fight. So then afterwards, Samoa Joe got up for the broadcast.
Can I just add some stuff to that, to the ladder match? So
let me finish the whole thing. We'll talk about the whole angle. So afterwards, and Wardlow came out because Joe got up from the broadcast table, and the security surrounded him, and then we're just going back to the same stuff where Wardlow beats up all the security guys. And Hobbs is sitting at the end of the ramp laughing at everything. So go ahead.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I said why I think Tony Khan or AEW booked for the crowd is because Hobbs, I haven't seen Hobbs on TV, or maybe I just haven't watched enough. Well, Hobbs is from EPA. He's here from the Bay Area. So I thought that's the reason he won. Like there's been no really build to this. And then it's funny because they messed up the ladder. So they had to have referees hold the ladder down so that Hobbs could, go up and get the Cheerio. And then he had trouble. I don't know if it was on TV. He had trouble coming down because he was on the very, very top.
Right.
So that was kind of funny. Then he pointed at. Yeah.
But bro, they had the thing up so high that Hobbs literally had to stand at the top thing of the ladder to reach up to grab the thing. Yeah. So and then it was difficult for him to climb down.
Yeah.
So after he won, he pointed at Joe. So I was just like, so is he challenging Joe for his titles?
He has the. Yeah. That's what the ring was for the title shot.
But then Wardlow came out, so I'm just like, I don't know. I was just confused.
At the pay-per-view.
Okay. But I'm just saying they didn't. This wasn't explained to the live crowd. Is what I'm saying. They don't show a lot of the vignettes at the live crowd. So
what do you think, Konnan?
Okay.
I just thought it was weird. There was no entrances. There was no video package on the new guy, Commander, who, like you say, I guess it's a thing that he walks the ropes. Well, yeah, it is a thing because not many people can do that. And I've seen him slip off of that, almost kill himself. Mm-hmm. But anyways, this is actually a guy that I discovered after a suggestion from Mega Lucha fanboy Rob Viper like 6 years ago. And this kid's going to be great.
He had a huge pop for that stuff. Like that was amazing live of the stuff that he did is all I'm saying. I would be surprised if they don't sign him.
Right. Yeah. But Disco, there's only one type of wrestling, old school wrestling. There's nothing else that you can do. I thought Takeshita looked good here. I'm finally seeing the potential. Takeshita. He's lucky I wasn't in San Francisco.
Ooh.
That would have. I would. Yeah. But you got to tell me, but he's Japanese.
Tope.
Somebody's got to say he's Japanese.
Right, he's a Japanese guy.
Doesn't matter. He's not Mexican.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Staying.
So
one more thing.
There you go. Sports.
So one more thing about this match.
Yeah.
There was a move that Action Andretti did onto Sammy Guevara that looked like somebody could have got really hurt. He was trying to do I don't know what move it was.
I don't know. It's so stupid.
And his leg got caught in the. Yeah, his leg.
Yeah, I saw that, bro. He's lucky. I couldn't believe that.
I'm talking about the suplex thing off the ladder on another ladder.
He had broken his leg. Yeah,
Falcon Arrow. Yeah,
it was weird.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a Falcon Arrow. That looked so bad. I was just like, oh no.
So let me finish what my thought here. So Lord Cyrus, his grandfather did invent the bong. A.K. Don Callis was looking on backstage. I have a feeling he's going to be managing Takeshita. Is that his name? Takeshita.
I'd like to say, what's up, Don? Because he does listen to hear me sometimes. So
no, he doesn't. He said you were complete Mark working dark glasses.
Yes, he did.
Bro, Hobbs was mega over since he's from Oaktown, but he's a heel, and I don't know if that's a reaction you want. Because they did the same thing with Britt in Pittsburgh. She was a heel, and they treated her like a mega babyface, which is so backwards from usual booking. Plus, here's the other thing. You make it harder for the actual babyface. So you're a babyface, and they're treating the heel like a babyface. Where's the heat? To me, the Guevara and Garcia thing versus Andretti is not interesting at all. But they're kind of backed up into a corner because Jericho put him over, so now they got to try and make him. But good luck, because for me, he ain't ready for prime time yet.
So next is
just one more thing. So Guevara had the biggest heel reaction there. They didn't have something there.
Right,
man,
definitely. He's very unlikable character.
Yeah.
So backstage, the best friends announced that Trent Barretta and Chuck Taylor are not medically cleared to compete in the Casino Battle Royal. But Danhausen said he and Cassidy could enter the match, but Cassidy was hurt. And he said, "I don't care." Really.
Yeah.
Right. And let me just say something, Fernando. Now that you brought up Sammy, you know what Sammy reminds me of a little bit of Dom, like a young punk you just want to smack and go shut.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
dude. Especially after
can you imagine those two as a tag team? Oh my God!
Man, nuclear heat.
Heat seekers.
So next was Chris Jericho against Peter Avalon, and he beats him in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. The code breaker. And then after the match, he starts beating him up with the bat. And this made Ricky Starks look pretty stupid. He comes out and he gets checked. He's checking on Avalon, but then the other heels came in. Jericho got a mic and told Starks that he would beat the hell out of him in Sunday Revolution. Jericho said just because of Jericho Appreciation Size was not allowed at ringside, that didn't mean they weren't present. So Garcia and Hayter attack him. They beat him up, and he puts him down with the Judas effect. They pose over Starks. And I thought this made Starks look stupid.
Was this over live, Fernando, or no?
Kind of. There was a chant of your hat, which was pretty funny.
Oh, to Swagger. Yeah. But you got to figure, DI, they'll likely maybe put Starks over on Sunday, so he's going to get it back, you know?
Well, let me just comment. This match to me didn't need to happen. They could have gotten the same results with an in-ring promo. Avalon's got a wild look. He reminds me of this old school comedian called Marty Feldman. Why is Stark saving Avalon? Are they boys? Are they in a group?
They tried to push the fact that Peter Avalon's from California, but he's more like Southern Cali.
Right,
so
he is from Southern California.
He didn't really get a big reaction like that. But
right, Northern Cali don't give a about that.
Again, it's Tony Khan thinking crowd, looking for the crowd.
Right. Now, let me finish. I read that Jericho had beaten this guy twice, Starks, in a tag team match and a regular match. So if you want to make Starks, he needs to go over or get really bad where you want to see a rematch or something, because so he can maintain his heat. If Jericho can put over Andretti, he can put over Starks. Because right now, Jericho, to me, is bulletproof at this juncture in his career. Yeah. And, bro, it seemed that Swagger was more worried about his purple hat falling over, which is actually more over than him, than the beatdown. This, bro.
Yeah, the beatdown did not look good, by the way.
This just does not seem as hot as it should be. It hasn't hooked me. I'll watch it anyways because it'll be a good match, but it hasn't hooked me.
Hangman Page delivered was in an outdoor location and cut a promo and said he would take Mox's spot at the top of the food chain. Said he hates violence, but would be the most violent, bloodthirsty SOB on Sunday because he knows what he has to do in order to beat Moxley. Page said Moxley would never be the same after the Texas Death Match. It's not a bad promo. That was all right.
See, that to me shows kind of my dissociation with just that fan base, because I don't really get Page. I'm not a big fan. That fan base seems to really love Page though, and they loved it when he was pushed up to the title, and they still want to see him succeed. That audience, But for me, I'm kind of just like, I actually saw a Twitter page say that he was one of the 4 best babyface promos in wrestling right now. I don't know. Have you guys agree with that or not?
So next, talk about good promo. Cage comes out for promo.
Yes.
And he basically he said problem with Perry and his entire generation, they treat the business like a video game, and Cage said he treats the business like an ATM machine. He said he's not done milking it dry. He challenged Perry to fight him in a fight at Revolution, and Cage said there'd be no rules or regulations. In case if Perry chose not to show up, they'd simply be his father's son. Cage said Perry's father was a Hollywood hack and said that Perry doesn't have anything inside. So then they cut to a Jungle Boy video, which shows how it shows how boring Jungle Boy is. He's no facial expressions. He's like kind of like he was crying. He's digging a grave, and then it said R.I.P. Christian Cage, and this was an awkward out. Cage just walked off. There's no music on the out or anything on it. But good, really good promo by Cage. What'd you think of this, Konnan? And what'd you think of the Jungle Boy video? And
I thought it was very awkward. Well, first of all, the promo was great.
Right.
Mega heat. He had mega heat. Okay. Yeah. I like how he called his dad a Hollywood hack. I like that ATM line. Mm-hmm. I liked his delivery. I like how he kept bringing Renee's hand up to make sure that the microphone, just being a to her. He's just great at what he does. I like watching him. And then very awkward cut the Jungle Boy all of a sudden, just digging, because it looked like a blackout at first. I thought another fucking blackout. And so, and bro, he's digging, and I'm thinking to myself, this is really what I'm thinking. He's digging a tombstone. It felt very Undertaker-ish. Why is he digging graves? That's not his character, his persona. Maybe the Black family, that would go with them.
The Jungle Taker.
Yeah, the Jungle Taker. This was very weird. It did not go with his persona.
Right.
Yeah. So that looked like something that Darby would do.
Maybe.
And then he was like, when I was watching this, so I was like puzzled when I was watching. It's like, I was like, why is he burying? I thought at first, is he burying his Jungle Boy persona? And he's going to be Jack Perry. Jack Perry. Right. Or there was even someone I was with that said, "Oh, is he digging up his dad?" But yeah, it was a weird. It was just that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker backstage, and they did their typical generic interview where they say nothing and talk about their title defense. And
they do absolutely. And here's my problem: they do nothing to make you interested in watching their match. They said nothing that would make you say, "I want to see this." Fernando, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you watch UFC?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Do you watch boxing every now and then, or no?
When there's good fights, I actually just watch.
How many times have you not been interested in a fight, but when you heard the promo, you said, I got to see this?
All the time, man.
They don't do a good job at that. And that's a big problem. They don't. Go ahead.
No. So next was Hook versus Matt Hardy with Stokely Hathaway. I guess Ethan Page, Cassidy, and Hathaway were there, the overacting at ringside during this. Hook got a lot of offense in. Hardy got a lot of offense. And basically, Hook counters and got the submission for the win. And Hardy tapped out immediately. Like, this is a weird tap out. He put him in the hold, and like literally within 1 second of him putting them in the chokehold, he tapped out.
Bro, I was going to bring the same thing up, Disco. Very good point.
Yeah, and so it was very weird. So the finish was kind of like not built, just came out of nowhere. Like he just But then I guess he gets 5 minutes with Hathaway at the pay-per-view, and so Stokely Hathaway was all pissed off about this. And he was sitting down, rocking back and forth while selling the idea of he has to face Hook in his match. And Hardy, here's the I missed this, but our boy Jason, what's his name? Hardy was shown smiling. So I think maybe the gimmick is they showed Hardy smiling that he purposely lost so Stokely can get beat up by Hook, I think, maybe. I don't know.
It would have been nice if the announcers explained that, But
this is another thing where a little guy is beating a guy about 40 pounds bigger than him and stuff, everything. So I just think it's funny that all the little guys win literally every single match they're in. It was a very weird dynamic.
Let me just say this. This was good because Hook sold more than before for an established name and then beat him. The story of the Hardys and Private Party against Hathaway's faction, what are they called?
The Firm.
The Firm, okay. Not interested, bro. And here's another thing, really, and I'm gonna ask Fernando because you obviously are. Would you consider yourself an AEW fan?
If I paid for a ticket, I guess so. Yeah,
okay.
I am.
So, bro, who really cares about him having 5 minutes with Stokely, who has very little heat? You know,
I don't give a shit.
It's gonna get over because people are into orange.
Yeah,
but this was good for Hook. You know, he needed a long match. He needed to sell a little bit.
It's only 4 minutes long.
Yeah, but usually his matches are a minute long.
Right.
You know, and I just thought the same thing Disco did. Hardy tapped out really quick. He should have waited.
I think it's on purpose, though.
Right, but they should have explained it.
Yeah, right.
Are we supposed to guess
smiling
this?
At the end.
Is this the finish of The Sopranos? Are we supposed to guess it?
I guess showing him smiling at the end was like the wave of the tease, whatever. So
to explain it, bro, you have the comment. You know what the comment? That's what the comment. You have 3 of them. That's
all
what
I gotta say is I feel like everything.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying everything that they've had that they've had Matt Hardy in has been terrible.
All right.
Everything.
So next is the House of Black video aired, and they're holding the belts and they're saying that they we'll see you at Revolution for the Elite. So then Tony Storm against Riho. Talk about another how many Joe? How many matches has Riho won there? She looks like she weighs about 70 pounds.
I'll get that for you.
Because so she beat Tony Storm here, and she's so small that her offense just does not look believably credible against the bigger girls.
How small does she look in person, Fernando?
She's the size of one of Tony Storm's nice juicy thighs. I'll put it that way.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So, so after the match, Hayter and Saraya end up trading blows in the ring, and Soho made her entrance and separated. Like none of these girls look like they know how to fight. And the referees are breaking up, and they have a pull apart. It was a kind of weird looking pull aparts. I don't know. It did nothing for me.
Okay, so Riho, who I have no clue who she was, and I actually looked this up. Let me see because I have it written down here.
She's 38-14 in AEW according to Cage Match.
Okay, so listen to this because I wrote this down. She started wrestling at 9 years old, okay, in Japan, and she wrestled for the following promotions:
DDT,
Ice Ribbon, who? DDT, which is where I'm assuming Omega saw her. Union Pro Wrestling, never even heard of that. Gato Move Pro Wrestling, never heard of that. And Stardom, which I have heard, which she's no longer a part of because of her commitments to AEW. But here's my problem with her. She hasn't been around in months. Tony just turned. She's a way better heel than a face. She looks comfortable. She's even working the crowd, which she didn't do before. Riho looks like a teenager wrestling against a woman. And again, she's not physical enough for her small frame like a Nikki Cross, who looks very physical, even though she's smaller. Soho sometimes comes off as very physical for her small stature too. Why is she beating Tony? Because I just think Tony has way more upside.
She does.
This to me was a real head scratcher. I'm not into the feud, but they did do a good job with the brawling to kind of get you interested for Saturday. I wish they would have done that with the whole program and not just this show. In other words, they haven't done a real good build-up to this match.
Keith Lee and Dustin Rhodes delivered a promo backstage, and Dustin said darkness had fallen over San Francisco, and he should challenge to whoever these people are, mogul affiliates. Do you know who mogul affiliates is?
Yeah, those are the guys the Nazis that are with
to as skinheads.
Oh God,
that's okay.
Nobody knows that they've never had a match there. I think one guy's a rookie, the other guy's really green. It's going to be kind of a cluster.
Also, we got to point out that Keith Lee now looks like a
oh no, wait! It
like
says
Carl
here.
Winslow,
sorry, it says
like
here
grandfather
for the Rampage on Friday. Got Dustin and Keith Lee, mogul affiliates Swerve Strickland and Parker Boudreaux.
Right, that's the skinhead guys.
I was thinking of the guys that hadn't been named.
No, naturally,
one of them wasn't named.
Okay,
they're called Naturally Limitless. Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee Konnan. Naturally Limitless.
Another great.
But yeah,
name.
like Keith Lee decided to stop dyeing his hair. He looks so old.
All right,
man.
so next is so next they had the tag team battle royal, and the most over team was Rey Fenix and Penta. They had a huge pop, even though Albert Abrahantes is there with a bright yellow suit on. It looks like he should be
horrible,
power bombed on the stage or something like that. But this was terrible. Everybody's throwing looking forearms and smacking their thighs, and there's only a few guys that look like they could fight in here. Wheeler Utah is throwing some good smoke with his punches. He actually looked like he could fight. lot of acrobatics and stupid stuff. And they had who were these guys that ran out and attacked? Some guys came out. First of all, they had
You said one of them was Arya Daivari, right, Konnan?
Yeah. Okay, Josh Woods. And Arya Daivari showed up and they attacked Phoenix and Penta.
What's the name of the lawyer guy? That's his
Mark Sterling.
Smart Mark.
Sterling.
So they beat them up and threw him back in the ring, and then they got eliminated. But it was like, I guess that's setting up a match for them to have. But poor Penta and Phoenix are now stuck with Josh Woods, Tony Nese, and Arya Daivari. Arya Daivari was throwing punches on the floor here and looked absolutely. He was punching the floor when he was trying to.
I got it right here. You want to see
Let's
it?
see this. This is terrible. Konnan doesn't really like to show botches, but when there's botches to be shown, Konnan will show the botches.
It's like
I can't see anything.
5 or 10 seconds. You can't. Can anyone else see it?
No.
We
can't see it at all.
You not see what we're
AEW
seeing?
Dynamite.
I'm sorry.
You're on.
Yeah. No, they changed the sharing thing. My bad.
Okay,
all right, we're still good.
Daivari,
Look at this. Bro, do you not realize the camera could be watching you?
and Woods and Nese out of here.
Me and Disco noticed that right off the bat.
This whole thing where that's enough, Joe. This whole thing where people could just randomly interfere in these matches because there's no DQ it's just stupid. It's
they came out of the crowd too.
There's no DQ.
Right.
That's why that's a no DQ match.
But I'm just saying, it's just like, but every time there's a no DQ match, stuff like this happens. It's like dumb.
That's why it's a no DQ match, so you can do like that.
Yeah, like I was looking and it. Christian and Jungle Boy is listed as a no holds barred match.
It's like two separate matches that they had that in the same show.
That's what I'm saying. Why would
Garcia interfered earlier in the other one, and this one? That's what I'm saying. It's just like you keep seeing the same spots over and over. It's like, why do they keep giving the advantage to heels where heels could just randomly come in and attack these guys?
That's what I mean.
That's the way they get heat.
With Cage versus Jack Perry, it's listed as a no holds barred match. The first thing I thought was, what's the difference for a no holds barred match? People interfere anyways.
Orange Cassidy and Danhausen ended up winning this. After the match, Jarrett and Lethal came in and attacked Cassidy and Danhausen while the guns posed on the apron. Then the Acclaim came out and they cleared the heels in the ring. Jarrett and Lethal looked like the two most violent people in the whole segment when they came in and started beating the guys up. Okay, so they know how to. At least those two guys know how to work a brawl, which none of these guys in the Battle Royal knew how to do, except maybe Wheeler Utah was doing all right.
It was really weird because when Orange Cassidy came out in the Danhausen, they had taken so long to come out that I didn't think any more tag teams were going to come out. Did you get that feeling, Fernando, or no?
Yeah, I did.
Why are they coming out so late?
Yeah.
And the team before them came out really late too. But anyways, this was not a good Battle Royal to me.
No. It's a cluster.
Bro, I remember because the Battle Royal they're going to have at Revolution. I remember this vividly. Revolution, like I would say 2 years ago, when it was like Kenny Omega and Hangman versus the Young Bucks.
Yeah,
bro, that was an incredible match. And this match just seems like they put all these guys together with no reason, no rhyme. It's like, I don't know, bro. It's very weird. I'm not interested in the build-up, or really nobody has any rivalries here.
Yeah. Next is
or is there a rivalry? Is there a rivalry between Lethal and the Danhausen crew, or no?
No, I don't know.
Who have Lethal and
rivalries are attacking? You attack somebody. That's
I was gonna say, who's Lethal and Jarrett been for like weeks? I don't know off the top of my head.
Well, the Acclaimed.
Okay.
So next is MJF, or Bryan Danielson comes out for an interview, talks about how MJF hates him, and he cuts a promo on him. Then Max comes out, and before he really has a chance to talk, Danielson shuts him up. And then Danielson does the talking, basically just cuts a big babyface fire promo and says he's going to beat the F out of him at the pay-per-view. And they had the F word, the F-bomb.
Yeah, he said, I'm going to kick your head in.
Yeah.
And the place popped.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
So whatever.
Bro, this was great, and this is what I liked about it. Finally, you ended the show how you should end it up, hot, instead of Moxley versus Lee Moriarty, because that's like a main event to them.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm still though. I'm not. This to me is just they embrace every old school cheap wrestling tactic that you do. Gratuitous blood, foul language. It's just, bro. This seems like they're substituting that stuff for good storytelling. If a guy just comes out and uses a cuss word and yell at a guy, they think that's a big sell. I don't know. It's like
a lot of these things, Disco, to me look like wrestlers want to like kind of cosplay, like, oh, I want to do like what Terry Funk did. I want to have a match and I want to bleed, or like I want to be like the Dudleys and I want to slam somebody through a table, like, and they don't do it as well. It's just, I don't know.
What did you like the most of the show live, Fernando?
I wanted to play this real quick before Fernando.
I mean, I think Commander was amazing. Like most of the crowd, they've never seen something like what Commander did. Is what I'm saying.
Right.
But
live
also, so
like?
Brian Cage got a huge pop. Actually, he wrestled for Dark. Okay. Brian Cage.
Yeah,
he wrestled on Dark. Also, Juice Robinson wrestled. There was a few local people that people were really like excited for, and it was all Dark. Like I guess they'll air it.
Local people like who?
There's a guy named Titus Alexander from Sacramento that wrestles like out here. This chick, Sandra Moon.
Right.
I didn't know anybody else, but yeah. Okay. So it was just they did AEW Dark an hour ahead, and then they did a Dark main event, which was the Acclaim versus the Workhorsemen. What it was just like it was a whatever match. The Workhorsemen.
I don't know.
Like what's that? JD Drake and some other guy.
JD Drake.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just to give him a match.
Let me tell you what I did like. I liked the first match between Darby and Big Bill, right? I like obviously what Commander did. I like Takeshita. I like the Hobbs. Let me see what else did I like. I like Christian Cage's promo.
Yeah. And he's on San Francisco, so like he got a huge reaction for that.
And I like the last segment.
Yeah.